The following is a presentation of Godaway Sports.
We welcome you, ladies and gentlemen, to North Olmsted High School, home of the Eagles. And the boys basketball team here in North Olmsted has their home opener here tonight as they welcome a non-conference foe from out of town in the Columbia Station Columbia Raiders. Good evening, everybody. My name is Noah Ricks here on Godaway Sports alongside our cameraman, Donald Van Ord, who's been around since football season, and I guarantee you he will do a fantastic job, a phenomenal job here tonight, filming his first basketball game. And this is actually our first basketball broadcast ever on Godaway Sports. And we just want to remind you beforehand, and the use of this broadcast or any pictures, descriptions, or other accounts of the game without Godaway Broadcasting Company's consent is prohibited. So the North Olmsted Eagles kind of off to a rough start. They had a tough outing in their season opener at Amherst last Wednesday, by a final score of 91-30. So definitely needs to be a huge turnaround. Coach Matt Joseph, only in his second season. His team did go 6-17 a year ago. They did go to the district semifinals, but that was more automatic because of the new format in the OHSAA tournament, where it's now 7 divisions instead of four divisions. But they were in the district semis. Their first round tournament game was a loss here last year to Hudson at home, 54-42. And coming in are the Columbia Raiders. These guys actually beat the North Olmsted Eagles last year on January 18th, 63-41. So Coach Joseph for North Olmsted has been kind of paying close attention to this game. Keep in mind, he was a Lorain County coach himself, a long-time Midview coach for 10 years before coming here to North Olmsted last season, going up against fifth-year head coach for the Raiders, Josh Sharp. His team coming off a 12-11 campaign where they just had a heartbreaker loss in their first-round tournament game last year at Andrews Osborne by a final score of 39-37. So technically on paper, these two teams not that far apart, but Columbia does have the slight edge, scoring 56.7 points a game last year, and North Olmsted only averaged just below 53 points a game last year. And the defense for North Olmsted, with their 56 points given up, and Columbia with just under 53 points given up. So it's kind of like flipping the scripts a little bit. So it's technically the offense for Columbia doing better than their defense, and the defense for North Olmsted, offense, it's just totally a tale of two worlds. So we are just under 6 minutes away from tip-off. We got a great atmosphere here in North Olmsted. We once again like to thank Athletic Director Brett Cook for giving us the opportunity to come back here to North Olmsted and have some fun action-packed games this winter for basketball. We have about at least 7 on our slate scheduled, but it is subject to change. We do have crazy schedules outside of here. But nevertheless, at least 7 games this winter for North Olmsted on Godaway Sports. Hopefully we'll see a great product out there on the court tonight. And let's see if North Olmsted can prove that last Wednesday was just a fluke. Last Wednesday was just a minor setback. Basketball, you really got to have a short memory. So coming in here, just trying to hold themselves accountable, not feel sorry for themselves. It's all about a maturity process. And keep in mind, this is about a young team. You only have about maybe 4 seniors on this varsity roster. So it is a young team. They have to mature. It is only game 2 of 22. So definitely way early in the season to determine not just the tournament rankings, but the growth rankings here for this North Olmsted basketball team. And what better way to do it than a non-conference matchup against a school not too far from here, Columbia Station, located in eastern Lorraine County, about 20 minutes from North Olmsted. And it's actually one of the smaller schools around here in the Cleveland metro area with 306. 306, yes, just a little bit bigger than my high school, and definitely a lot smaller than our cameraman Donald's high school, Portland Lakeview. Columbia want to be in their black uniforms with their Kelly green numbering, their Kelly green outlining, and their white lining as well. And this team coming out of the Lorraine County League. North Olmsted plays in the Cleveland West Conference, and Columbia plays in the Lorraine County League. So just a little bit of the scenario. So just a little bit of the description for those of you who are not too familiar with Columbia. Obviously, for those of you watching from North Olmsted, more than likely very familiar with the community of Columbia Station. But North Olmsted, here with just under 3 minutes left on this warm-up clock. Hopefully they will get some high offense going and definitely try to get well over 30 here tonight. We've got guys like Billy Sullivan out there and Massimiliani, both just young sophomores on the floor tonight. We also will have some senior leadership at the helm with Cam May, AJ Ryan, Jake Perkins, and Chuck Shuck. So hopefully the senior leaders will get these guys ready to play some basketball. Get out there on the hardwood to show what you're made of. Definitely the offense and defense for North Olmsted not too far apart from last season. But definitely the defense gave up more points than the offense scored. The defense gave up 80 more points than their offense scored. 1,291 points given up last season compared to 1,211 scored by the offense of North Olmsted. So that kind of explains why they were 6-17 a year ago. But I'm ready for some basketball. I bet you Donald's ready for some basketball. I bet all of you watching on Godaway Sports, we thank you for watching this broadcast, our very first basketball broadcast, our inaugural basketball broadcast. Here in what has been shaping up to hopefully be a great first year for Godaway. Obviously, we're starting small, nothing too fancy, but definitely want to build a foundation. And here we go with the opening announcements and the starting lineups.
Columbia High School members of the Ohio High School Athletic Association and abide by high standards of conduct and sportsmanship. We ask fans to be courteous, respectful, and supportive of the players, officials, coaches, and other fans. Negative cheering in forms of chants, gestures, or comments, or actions which embarrass or intimidate anyone are prohibited. Thank you for your cooperation and enjoy tonight's game. Now, would everyone please rise to honor America and join us as our pep band plays the national anthem. And now for tonight's starting lineups. First for the visiting Columbia Raiders. Junior number 1, Logan Mengi. Junior number 4, Dylan Fisher. Senior number 5, Jacob Rush. Junior number 12, Ambrose Beach. And junior number 22, Carter Hess. The Raiders are coached by Josh Sharp, assisted by Brian Mengi and Brandon Fisher. Junior number 1, Anthony D'Alessandro. Senior number 5, Jake Perkins. Junior number 10, Brett Zada. Junior number 13, Corey Clan. And sophomore number 24, Billy Solomon. Eagles are coached by Matt Joseph, assisted by David Conrad, Jason Hawley, and Jacob Simon. Tonight's officials are Keith Walker, Jeff Smith, and Steve Hayhurst. Our official scorer tonight is Mike Janus. Official timer is Phil Bowman, and statistician is Danielle Morrow.
So we're ready for some basketball here from North Olmsted as Billy Solomon at the circle for the opening tip, and off we go as the Raiders control. Here comes number 1, Logan Mengi, 5'7", junior here for the Raiders. Now they give it off to number 22, Carter Hess, and it's stolen away by number 1, Anthony D'Alessandro, who scores to strike first blood for North Olmsted. So a nice little transition steal for D'Alessandro, who is a junior, 5'8", for the Eagles. And here comes a 3-ball for number 5, Jacob Rust. As it's 3-2 Raiders, just a half minute gone by, and what is a very fast-paced game here so far. Here comes number 10 for the Eagles, Brett Zada, junior. Trying to play a little motion. They swing it out here. Now it's Billy Solomon at the left wing. Billy Solomon was thinking about throwing it. Now they get it back to the top of the key. Here comes Zada. Trying to get it back to Zada. And now they feed it off to Sullivan. Sullivan trying to attack on the glass, but he can't hit it. And that's a takeaway by Carter Hess. They feed it down low to number 12, Ambrose Beach, who makes it 5-2 Raiders. On the dribble drive, it's Ambrose Beach getting his first 2. Now Brett Zada at the left wing. Top of the key now, it's Sullivan. Sullivan being guarded by Hess. They swing it out here. D'Alessandro. D'Alessandro couldn't find anyone, and now he finds number 13 for 3, Corey Kraft, tying up the scoring at 5. And now here come the Raiders, back on offense, number 4 for Columbia, Dylan Fisher. Mengi inside the paint. Now at the free throw line, they scoop it back outside the circle. Fisher now launches a long 3. It hit the backboard, but an offensive rebound off the miss by Jacob Rust makes it 7-5 Raiders. So a nice little offensive putback, and it's now 5 points for Jacob Rust here in the first 2.5 minutes. Sullivan, a long pass, and trying to get the reverse layup, but missing is Jake Perkins. And now here comes a 3-ball by D'Alessandro. D'Alessandro splashes, making it 8-7 Eagles. D'Alessandro now with 5 points as he gives North Olmsted the lead. Just over 5 minutes to go in this opening quarter. At the top of the key now it's at the right wing. Now a 3-ball for Carter Hess is true. A nice response by Columbia. making it 10-8 Raiders. The Alessandro off the iron, and a rebound by Dylan Fisher. Transition game and the dribble drive and the scooping layup by Ambrose Beach. Making it 12-8 Raiders. And the pass to Columbia student section just behind me. And a miss there by Brett Zada. But here comes another three for Columbia. This is Jacob Rust with 8 first quarter points. And now the Raiders are on the roll. 8-0 run and leading 15-8 halfway through this first quarter. Just over 4 minutes to play. The Alessandro fires, and that's short. Rebound by Bengi. Rust, good scoop down. Good swing. Now back to Rust, who fires. Rust a little too short, and Sullivan with the board. Eagles back on offense, trailing 15-8. And a takeaway there, and an easy layup for Ambrose Beach. And we get a 30-second timeout called by Coach Matt Joseph. And we'll be right back after this message on Godaway Sports.
Godaway Sports is Northeast Ohio's new home for high school athletics. If you are interested in advertising with a company who is dedicated to covering our communities around the clock, then we encourage you to scan the QR code on screen or follow the link below to get your feet in on the ground floor and become a partner with Godaway. Godaway Sports, we got away.
10-0 run here by the Columbia Raiders, led by 8 points from number 5, Jacob Rust, the senior leader, the 6-foot senior, making it a 17-8 Raiders lead with just 3:44 remaining in the opening quarter. Noah Ricks here on Godaway Sports. We thank you for tuning in, and we also thank our cameraman Donald Van Horn for coming out and getting great footage here. And a takeaway again by the Raiders. Here comes Mingy. Mingy puts it up and puts it in. An 11-point lead for Columbia. And this student section behind me is really passionate, as they should be, as they see the Raiders up by double digits. Trying to get it off here. This is Brett Zada. And now shooting for 3 is Jake Perkins, who couldn't get it to fall. Offensive rebound by D'Alessandro, and losing the basketball is Brett Zada. It's taken away by number 0, Jack Washburn, and it's put in for 2. As Rust now with 10 first quarter points, making it a 21-8 Raider lead. D'Alessandro now to Sullivan. Sullivan, no points so far, the sophomore, and an offensive foul on the Eagles. Nothing's just going their way right now, as they are in the slump of a 14-0 run here by Columbia. And some substitutions coming in for the Eagles. See number 23 checking into the game, Dominic Martin, as well as number 12, Chuck Shuck, the senior. Now the half-court set here. Both Columbia and North Olmsted. Swinging to now number 4, Dylan Fisher, the junior. Just under 2.5 to play first quarter. 21-8 Raiders lead. And a travel violation here by Graham Ross, giving the possession back here to the Raiders. The Eagles. So the Eagles really fell behind after that really dominant offensive spurt by the Raiders, trying to get some momentum back on their side to end this first quarter. They could really use some right now. Sullivan trying to find D'Alessandro, but D'Alessandro couldn't go back to get it. And it's taken away once again. A lot of takeaways here by the Raiders in this opening quarter. These turnovers are really hurting the Eagles right now. As it's out of bounds, going back here to Columbia. 1:49 on this first quarter clock. As it's been all Raiders ever since they fell behind 8-7. Now at the high post, they feed it back out. And here comes a missed two-shot. As trying to get the rebound here was Dominic Martin, a 6'5" junior. Is it going to be a foul here on the Raiders? Foul will be on number 24, Mason Bledsoe. 6'4" junior here for Columbia. Forward, going to be picking up his first, and actually the first team foul of this opening quarter for Columbia. Olmsted does have one foul. That was by Billy Sullivan. And they feed it off here to Sullivan on this offensive set. Sullivan gets fouled here as he's trying to do a dribble drive. And once again, Bledsoe going to be called for the foul on the block. Well, on the floor, and two quick fouls here by the junior Mason Bledsoe will send him back to the bench in place of Dylan Fisher. The kick outside. Jake Perkins. Perkins just trying to get out of that tough defensive aggression. And a missed three ball by D'Alessandro. And a rebound by Mengi. And they feed it down low to number 11, Graham Ross. Making it a 23-8 Columbia game. And here comes that bounce in after that lucky bounce by Dominic Martin. And now double digits for the Eagles. 23-10, and that rolls in. As Jack Washburn putting it in to make it 25-10. Washburn, number 0, picking up his first bucket on the night. Once again, it's turnover after turnover. Here's Olmsted. There's a kick here, and now they swing it back to Mengi. Playing a little hot potato here. 15 seconds, under 15 seconds to go on this first quarter clock. Now under 10 seconds as it's batted away, but taken back here by the Raiders with 5 seconds on the clock. 3 seconds now, and a wide open layup here for Ambrose Beach, making it 8 points for Beach in this first quarter, and that is how this first quarter will come to a close. All Columbia as they end the first quarter on a 20-2 run, a 27-10 Raiders over North Olmsted. We'll be back after this on Godaway Sports.
Godaway Sports is Northeast Ohio's new home for high school athletics. If you are interested in advertising with a company who is dedicated to covering our communities around the clock, then we encourage you to scan the QR code on screen or follow the link below to get your feet in on the ground floor and become a partner with Godaway. Godaway Sports, we got away.
This broadcast is copyrighted by Godaway Broadcasting Company, LLC, for the private use of our audience, and the use of this broadcast or any pictures, descriptions, or other accounts of the game without Godaway Broadcasting Company's consent is prohibited. So, we will start quarter number 2 with North Olmsted in a big hole. Trailing by 17. They were leading 8-7. They did have a nice, decent start, but Columbia just got turnover after turnover, takeaway after takeaway, and ended that quarter on a 20-2 run. 12 points for number 5, Jacob Russ, in that first quarter. And the senior really leading his team right now as Dominic Martin draws the foul to start quarter number 2. And Jacob Russ will be called for his first foul. And just 9 seconds into the second quarter, we already have Columbia's first team foul of the quarter. They're going to say it's on the floor. So the inbound is D'Alessandro here for the Eagles. A little bunched up, but they feed it outside to number 12, Chuck Shuck. Now it's Martin up top. Trying to get it in on the layup, but good defense here by Dylan Fisher. It's going to stay on this side of the floor of North Olmsted, but nevertheless, good defense to prevent that layup on the 6'5" man. Once again, Martin, he receives his inbound pass. And loose ball out of bounds, and nothing just going right. They just can't really seem to click right now on offense or defense, especially in that transition game after the takeaways. But now the Raiders back on offense with 27 first quarter points. That is impressive. Doesn't matter who you're playing. If you're able to put up 27 points in the opening quarter, in any quarter, that is definitely true. And that is true on the three ball for Dylan Fisher. 30-10 game here for Columbia. It's already a 20-point lead, and we're only a minute into the second quarter. And a takeaway here by the Raiders. As here comes the pass here from Carter Hess. And out of bounds, they're going to say it's last touch by a Raider jersey. Brett Zada checking back into the game. This time he will replace Billy Solomon. The Eagles trailing by 20. They need answers fast. And we're still early into the second quarter. So plenty of time, but they need to really limit these turnovers. What a lucky takeaway this time. A rare takeaway for the Eagles. They find D'Alessandro, now a three ball for Perkins. That is not true. And a rebound there by Jack Washburn. Columbia really controlling this game right now. Carter Hess. Now they feed it to Fisher. Now at the high post, a good flick out. Here comes Hess for three. That's it. Carter Hess splashing from downtown as he has 6 in this first half. 2 minutes gone by here in quarter number 2. And it's going back here to the Raiders, out of bounds on North Olmsted. This first half is starting to slip further and further away. They see themselves in a 23-point deficit right now. Dylan Fisher. And they feed it good, really a quick ball movement here. Taking the three is Fisher. A bounce pass, now back here to Fisher. Jack Washburn. Fisher fires a long three and drains it. He just rattled it down. As it's now 9 points here. No, excuse me. Dylan Fisher, 3 points, his first 3 points on the night. Making it a 36-10 game. 5.5 to go in the first half, and that just says it all. Another missed shot here by the Eagles. Bounce pass, the swing, and the shot bounces off for Jacob Rust. Just trying to make this game interesting. 26-point advantage here for the Raiders. And we still have 5 minutes to go in the first half. Here comes the pass here to Chuck Shuck. Now back to D'Alessandro. As Perkins kicks it back outside. And here comes the three. That's in. Brett Zada draining it down. And a timeout called here by the Eagles. A 30-second timeout. 36-13 is your score, which ended a really long stretch of no points being scored by the Eagles. Kind of lost a little bit of track, but if I'm correct, that was a 13-0 run there by the Raiders before that three-point shot. So Brett Zada gets his first points on the night. But the Eagles still trail by 23. With time winding down here in this first half. Once again, Noah Ricks on Godaway Sports. We thank you for tuning in, and we'd like to once again thank our cameraman, Donald Van Horn, for doing his best to stay motivated despite this score right now. But a 36-13 game. Fisher drives, can't get it. It was off the backboard. But they're going to say it's a foul here on Columbia. That appears to be on Ambrose Beach. Ambrose Beach picking up his first foul of the night. It's kind of a fast-paced first half right now. And missing that shot there is Chuck Shuck. Man, nothing is just going their way right now. And swing it out. Feet inside. Wide open, Jack Washburn getting the floater. Making it a 38-13 score. Washburn now a 4. Throw here. Now here comes a 3 from D'Alessandro. That's off the iron. 25-point advantage here for Columbia, and a 3 here by Jacob Rust. Jacob Rust with now 15 first half points. Already at the 40 burger with 41 points. They lead 41-13 with just over 3 minutes to play first half. They find D'Alessandro, a mid-range shot for D'Alessandro that goes in. 7 points for D'Alessandro, the junior. 41-15. Washburn. Washburn, the kick here. To number 12, Ambrose Beach. Ambrose Beach putting it up and getting fouled. Looks like we actually go to the free throw line for the first time here tonight. As Beach will be shooting two, that will be the first foul on number 23, Dominic Martin. Trying to add on to what is already a sizable advantage. He misses the first foul shot. Carter Hess checking in for Jacob Rust. Substitutions here for North Olmsted. It looks like for the first time tonight, we'll be seeing Cameron Massimiani, the 5'9" sophomore, as well as Solomon checking back into the game. It's up and swiveling out. So he misses both foul shots there. So maybe 13 and a half minutes of action to finally get some free throws. And it's going back here to Columbia. No, actually, excuse me, a timeout called here by North Olmsted. And a full 60-second timeout. And we'll be back here after this on Godaway Sports.
Godaway Sports is Northeast Ohio's new home for high school athletics. If you are interested in advertising with a company who is dedicated to covering our communities around the clock, then we encourage you to scan the QR code on screen or follow the link below to get your feet in on the ground floor and become a partner with Godaway. Godaway Sports, we got away.
41-15 score. North Olmsted trailing here by 26 with 2:20 to go here in the first half. And just trying to get some offense going. They do have 7 points from Anthony D'Alessandro, but 15 points, that is something that Coach Matt Joseph was not hoping to have here tonight, especially given their opening season loss at Amherst, where they are only able to put up 30 against the Comets. So it looks like Columbia, another Lorain County foe, doing exactly what Amherst did last week. Just pile it on the scoreboard. Now Massimiani to inbound here for the Eagles. Find D'Alessandro. Just over 2 minutes to go. He's trying to hold on to his dribble. This is an inexperienced team, by the way, as missing the three-point shot is Chuck Shuck. Rebound by Carter Hess. And Hess will get called for this offensive foul. He put it up, but it's going to be nullified. Offensive foul on Hess, his first. Hess, the 6'3" junior. Trying to get some contact, but he had too much contact on his own side. Now 3 team fouls in the second quarter for the Raiders. And putting it up is D'Alessandro. He's missing, but he gets the offensive board. And now the Eagles right back at it. In the game is number 0, Andrew Houfley for the Eagles. And now here comes the shot by D'Alessandro that goes in. That's now 9 points for Anthony D'Alessandro. A mini 4-0 run here for the Eagles, trying to close out the first half on a high note. 41-17 is your score. It's still a sizable 24-point lead for the Raiders. Here comes a long 3 for Dylan Fisher that bounces off out of the distance, but he misses. And D'Alessandro. Back to D'Alessandro. Trying to get that jump stop, and no, he misses. And a rebound by Mengi on the defensive side. Mengi spinning around, getting out of the traffic. And drawing the foul here is Ambrose Beach. Chuck Shuck going to be called with the foul, and Coach Matt Joseph definitely not pleased with that foul. As the first foul will be called on Shuck. Looks like Ambrose Beach back at the line here for Columbia, and his first foul shot goes in. 42-17 now. 9 points now for Andrew Beach. Excuse me, Ambrose Beach. And he misses the second foul shot. So 1 of 2 at the line on that trip. Back to a 25-point game. And once again, a takeaway this time by Jack Washburn. Now with just over 30 seconds to go, Columbia slowing it down. This 25-point advantage. Now under 30 seconds. Want to play for this last shot. No shot clock here in high school basketball. It's under 20 seconds. Good ball movement here by the Raiders. Someone had to go back to get that. A little miscommunication. Someone was not on the same page. Now 10 seconds to shoot for Columbia. Trying to find an open lane, and looks like a foul coming up with 5.4 ticks on the clock. So it looks like Logan Mengi is going to go to the foul line. Cam Massabiati going to be called with his first foul here tonight. As the first foul shot goes off here. So now Columbia just 1 of 5 at the line. Second one goes in. Now 5.4 seconds to shoot here for North Olmsted as they had to inbound it from the baseline. D'Alessandro with 3 seconds to shoot. 1 second now. He fires it off, but nowhere near. So that does it for a very dominant first half as Columbia, it's all Columbia, as they go into the locker room with a sizable 43-17 advantage over the North Olmsted Eagles, and we'll send it to our halftime roll. You are watching Godaway Sports. Your North Olmsted Eagles have a new nest.
Godaway Sports is Northeast Ohio's new home for high school athletics. If you are interested in advertising with a company who is dedicated to covering our communities around the clock, then we encourage you to scan the QR code on screen or follow the link below to get your feet in on the ground floor and become a partner with Godaway. Godaway Sports, we got away. Godaway Sports is Northeast Ohio's new home for high school athletics. If you are interested in advertising with a company who is dedicated to covering our communities around the clock, then we encourage you to scan the QR code on screen or follow the link below to get your feet in on the ground floor and become a partner with Godaway. Godaway Sports, we got away.
This broadcast is copyrighted by Godaway Broadcasting Company, LLC, for the private use of our audience, and the use of this broadcast or any pictures, descriptions, or other accounts of the game without Godaway Broadcasting Company's consent is prohibited. So we are back here to start quarter number 3 in what has been a very rough basketball game so far, at least on the scoreboard. And North Olmsted, the first half just really doomed by turnovers. Plenty of turnovers that really led to transition points for the Columbia Raiders. 43 to 17 is your score. As we start half number 2, as Carter Hess with 6 first half points, inbounded for the Raiders to start this third quarter action. With us here on Sports, Rick's play-by-play announcer. Cameraman is Donald Van Horn. This little startup company has gotten its way, really fighting, and really it's very promising. Great future. But back here in this basketball game, as North Olmsted gets it back off a Columbia miss. Jake Perkins, the ball is stolen away by number 1, Mengi. Logan Mengi, as Logan Mengi puts it up and doesn't go in the basket. Outside. Anthony Alessandro, he's leading his team with 9 points. Gives it out to Chuck Shuck. And it's another takeaway here for the Raiders. Mengi once again taking it for Columbia. There's a shot here for Jacob Russ. Jacob Russ had 13 first half points, but he misses this time around. Just over a minute gone by here in the third quarter. Here comes a fadeaway shot that goes in for Jake Perkins. So starting the second half off on a high note, as it's 43 to 19. Swing it. Here comes a three-point shot for our Carter Hess. And it's taken away off the rebound. And it looks like we got a blocking foul on the Raiders, as Mengi will be in the guilty party. He will pick up his first foul here tonight. Foul on the floor. Raider team first of the third quarter. Eagles outside the circle. Bounce number 0. Andrew Halfley, the sophomore. He finds Dominic Martin at high post. Dominic Martin gets it in off the hard-earned hook. So 2 buckets here for North Olmsted in the first 2 minutes of the second half. Some good improvement trying to rebound is Jacob Rust. He missed that shot. And a little bit of a slow start here to this third quarter for Columbia. Putting up 43 first half points, 27 in the first quarter, 16 in the second. Here comes the pass to Chuck Shuck. Chuck Shuck gets it in. Now chipping it away at this lead. The lead is back down to 20. As Chuck Shuck gets his first bucket. 2.5 minutes gone by here in quarter number 3. It's a 6-0 run here to start the second half for North Olmsted. Here comes a three from the corner that bounces out for Jacob Rust. Offensive rebound by Carter Hess. He gets fouled, and he will head to the line to shoot a pair. Barton will be called for his second foul here tonight. Carter Hess will be shooting 2 for the Raiders. Up and in. Hess now with 7 points. 6'3" junior. And wave it off. It's a lane violation here on the Raiders. That nullifies that foul shot. And giving it back here to the Eagles. Starting off this third quarter strong with 6 tough points. 6 straight tough points. Feed to the corner. Jake Perkins being double teamed. And it looks like he stepped on the line. Yes, they're going to say he stepped on the line. So going back here to the Raiders, and it looks like a player down in pain. And we are going to step aside here on Godaway Sports. So looks like that was a player going back to the bench. That was Ambrose Beach, who was down in some heavy pain. He was being helped up, and he did walk back to the bench under his own power, so probably just got the wind knocked out of him maybe, but Columbia will find out later, more than likely after tonight, if it's a more severe injury. And a fight for the loose ball as we get a jump ball being called here, going back to North Olmsted. 4:34 to go in the third quarter. The Eagles still down 21, but they have been chipping away at this lead ever since the third quarter started. Missing is D'Alessandro. D'Alessandro keeps it in play, but he gives it back to the opposition. Mingy with the takeaway. As it's number 0, Jack Washburn feeds it back outside to Dylan Fisher. Mengi for a 3. And that's too far to the left. That's a rebound by Andrew Halfley. Halfley swinging to the corner. Chuck Shuck now inside to Billy Sullivan. That bounces off the iron. But an offensive rebound by Chuck Shuck. Kick outside. 3 for Halfley. Got it. 44-26 is your score. As North Olmsted now on a 9-1 run in this third quarter. Still an 18-point advantage, though, for Columbia. And here comes a shot there. That goes in for Jacob Russ, who now has 15 points. And the first bucket for him in this third quarter. Lead back up to 20. And it's tipped by Mengi, but taken right back by D'Alessandro. A 3-ball for Chuck Shuck. Too strong for Shuck. And out of bounds here on the Eagles. Zata checking back into the game for North Olmsted. Filling in for Andrew Halfley. Just over 3 minutes ago, what has been a more dominant third quarter for North Olmsted. Definitely winning the quarter so far, 9-3. Columbia has other plans, trying to run out the clock here, trying to make it a quick second half. But North Olmsted being pesky, getting takeaways of their own. Now Jake Perkins, high post, Alessandro, and that's too short. Rebound by Jack Washburn, a harder rebound. Really boxing out Sullivan, stolen away by D'Alessandro. D'Alessandro really sneaking in there. D'Alessandro with a floater, misses, and a Mengi rebound. And Mengi gets thrown to the ground by D'Alessandro. Call with his first personal tonight. Team's second of the quarter here for North Olmsted. So just 2 more fouls to give for the Eagles before we go into the penalty. Scoop and no score. Trying to get it back there is number 24, Mason Bledsoe. And it's out of bounds. Say it's Columbia possession. Kick it out to Mengi. Mengi puts it up, rolling out. Offensive rebound by Jack Washburn. All around the floor, and another offensive rebound, this time by Bledsoe. He gets fouled. So that was a third chance there for Columbia. Just a lack of boxing out really gives them those opportunities and another trip to the foul line. Now just one more foul to give for North Olmsted as number 24, Billy Solomon, going to be called with his second. And the first foul shot goes in for Mason Bledsoe. Playing better. Still need to pick up some more intensity as that second foul shot goes out. 21-point lead at 47-26 for the Columbia Raiders. Just over a minute and a half to go, third quarter. Now the top of the key, Jake Perkins. And Halfley at the right elbow and on the same page with what appears to be Perkins. Yes, it is Perkins. As a turnover once again for the Eagles. Yes, slowing it down a little bit for the final 90 seconds. But now they decide to pick it up, maybe more medium pace. And now on the same page there as that rolls out of bounds for Columbia. So neither team, neither offense can really find a way to stay consistent, click, and stay on the same page. That's why communication is key. Feed it to Brett Zata. Now at the top of the key, here comes a 3-4. Number 5, Jake Perkins. A tip and a takeaway. The rebound, actually, by Mengi. And Coach Matt Joseph kind of a little upset he didn't get a charge. But nevertheless, it's going to be out of bounds on Columbia. 51 ticks on the third quarter clock. Get another sub here. Dylan Fisher checking back in for Mason Bledsoe. Yeah, only scoring 4 points here in this third quarter. North Olmsted has 9. So a lot more low scoring here in this third period. But just 13 combined points. to Sullivan. And Sullivan with a hook shot that is too short, too low. Comes pushed down by Jack Washburn. And now, number 12, Ambrose Beach, splashing it from downtown. Making it 50-26 now, making it 12 points for number 12, Ambrose Beach. And here comes the fire away at the third quarter gun. And that will do it here for kind of a more low-scoring third quarter, but Columbia picking it up a notch in the final 30 seconds with a 3-ball from Ambrose Beach. And we are heading to the fourth with the score Columbia 50 and North Olmsted 26. You are watching Godaway Sports.
Godaway Sports is Northeast Ohio's new home for high school athletics. If you are interested in advertising with a company who is dedicated to covering our communities around the clock, then we encourage you to scan the QR code on screen or follow the link below to get your feet in on the ground floor and become a partner with Godaway. Godaway Sports, we got away.
One final time, this broadcast is copyrighted by Godaway Broadcasting Company, LLC, for the private use of our audience. Any use of this broadcast or any pictures, descriptions, or other accounts of the game without Godaway Broadcasting Company's consent is prohibited. So, our inaugural basketball broadcast here on Godaway Sports, heading into quarter number 4, with the game out of hand, a 24-point lead for the Columbia Raiders on top of the host North Olmsted Eagles. As we start the final 8 minutes, Ambrose Beach, who splashed a three-pointer to end the third quarter, give it off to number 11, Graham Ross, who travels. So North Olmsted scored 9 in the third quarter, and Columbia scored 7. But a nice little 6-0 spurt to end that third quarter by the Raiders, putting them back in business, and a travel violation for Brett Zada. So they played better. They improved. That's all you can ask for after what was a catastrophic first half. Well, now Columbia just trying to sit on it, chew up as much clock as they can, and get out of here with a 2-0 spurt and a 3-ball this time for Dylan Fisher. Dylan Fisher splashing it for what is now 9 points on the night for him. The junior making it 53-26 Raiders. Now Anthony D'Alessandro putting it in on the dribble drive. 53-28 is your score. Now 11 points for D'Alessandro. And trying to drain it again is Fisher, but he misses this time from the right wing. What has been a very fast-paced basketball game. And they feed it down low to Dominic Martin. Now 30 on the board for North Olmsted. And here comes that shot from the foul line for Fisher. 55-30. 11 points now for Fisher. Now Chuck Shuck from the top of the key. He drains it. Little back and forth we go in the final 8 minutes of action. That's just 2 minutes into this fourth quarter. We have seen an offensive explosion by both teams. And they feed it, and one for Jack Washburn.
Jack Washburn will shoot 1.
So Jack Washburn making it a 57-33 game. Both teams picking up 7 points apiece in the first 2 minutes of this fourth quarter, as that and one goes off. So 14 combined points already to start quarter number 4. And it looks like we've got a hold on Jack Washburn. Jack Washburn picking up his first foul on the night. And we got a sub here. Looks like for the first time tonight, Dylan Sloan, the 6'3" sophomore for the Raiders. Eagles back on offense. D'Alessandro, his 11, feeds it off. And a missed 3 ball for Brett Zada. And now Menke. Menke trying to score down low. He misses. And Dominic Martin with the board. Spinning around, they feed it back outside to Shuck. Shuck hits another 3. Chuck Shuck with 2 quick 3s on his resume tonight. As that goes up, that goes off. Lead back down to 21 for Columbia. And here comes the 3-point shot that is bouncing in off that second bounce for Jack Washburn. It took us about maybe 24 minutes to get the fireworks going, but we finally have it as Dominic Martin gets it plus the foul. Dominic Martin trying to connect on the 3-point play. Second foul on Jack Washburn. 12 points for North Olmsted. 10 points for Columbia. And now 13 points for North Olmsted in this fourth quarter already. Just 3 minutes into this quarter. As it's now 9 points for Dominic Martin. And stolen away by Jake Perkins. Spinning around and losing the basketball is Martin. Take it away. And back here to number 11, Graham Ross, who missed that unfriendly roll there. Gonna say out of bounds on the Eagles, going to stay on that side of the floor with Columbia. And they swing it here. So Columbia, if nothing crazy happens here, they'll go to 2-0 with this victory. With a Friday date looming against inter-county foe Wellington, as that goes in for Jack Washburn. Jack Washburn just adding on to his total. But yes, a Friday night affair between Columbia and Wellington in Columbia Station. Tip-off is at 7 p.m. And here comes Chuck Shuck trying to hit another 3. That's off the iron, too strong. Offensive rebound by D'Alessandro. Perkins at high post. Flick out. And out of bounds, going back here to Columbia. So North Olmsted going to more than likely fall to 0-2. They have their first conference matchup on Friday night when they play host to Lakewood here from North Olmsted. We'll be not here covering the game, but obviously we want to support our Eagles as much as we can, and we wish them best of luck in their conference game against Lakewood.
Ambrose Beach, his second.
As Ambrose Beach going to be called what appears to be, yes, his second foul of the night. So number 15, Deshaun Knight, the 6'2" sophomore, checking in for the Eagles for the first time here tonight with 3:27 to play. And a 23-point advantage for the Raiders of Columbia. And keep in mind, the North Olmsted actually didn't have school today. We were actually concerned that this game was actually going to go on, but we got the confirmation. This game is going on as scheduled, and as that is going to be a foul.
Raider team fourth.
And that will be on number 20, Ryan Smith. His first foul. Ryan Smith coming in, 6'2" sophomore, as it looks like we'll get some younger guys for the final 3 minutes of action. Now they swing it here. Just trying to end this game strong. Was a nice third quarter and actually a nice fourth quarter as well. As Anthony D'Alessandro making a 62-41 game. Now 13 points for D'Alessandro. And now Mangi from the corner misses. And this game actually just going maybe just a little over an hour, if anything. It's actually one of the more faster high school basketball games I've been a part of, as that's out of bounds on the Raiders. And Chuck Shuck feeds it off to Brett Zata, who misses. Offensive rebound to Sean Knight. DeShawn Knight trying to hold on to it. And a jump ball. And the possession going to stay with the Eagles. So Matt Joseph, 6-18 as a coach right now. Obviously, a first half that he and his team would love to put behind them. They have really come out here in the second half with what is now 24 points compared to 17 in the first half, as that goes in for Ambrose Beach yet again. Ambrose Beach now with 14 points, as Columbia has surpassed their total from a year ago, their matchup from a year ago. Last year they beat North Olmsted 63-41. Now the score here is 64-41. As the second foul going to be called on Logan Mengi, and that will send number 5 Jake Perkins to the line, as North Olmsted trying to surpass their total, which they do. Even if it's just 1 point, that is actually a great improvement. 25 points here in the second half for the Eagles. As that goes off. And taken back here by Jake Perkins. And from the left wing, too strong for number 10, Brett Zata. Out of bounds, they're going to say it's off of Ryan Smith. Thought a bit of Ryan Smith in the JV game. Columbia does have some decent JV players, but North Olmsted won that JV game handily. Now under 2 minutes to play. Last 2 minutes to play in this fourth quarter. And now firing away for three was Jake Perkins, but getting it right back is Chuck Shuck. Chuck Shuck gonna hit DeShawn Knight, trying to hold on to his offensive rebound, and a jump ball. Gonna be called. The possession arrow will go back here to the Raiders. And Raiders actually have hit the limit here in this fourth quarter. Not that it truly matters, given the 22-point advantage. But just a word of thought here tonight. As a jump ball going to be called. And that will go back here to North Olmsted. So yes, most of these guys, at least for Columbia, young out there on the floor trying to get their varsity reps in. As D'Alessandro and Jake Perkins go back to the bench for North Olmsted. Now Cam Massimiani, the sophomore, back into the game for the Eagles. Massimiani now to left wing. Steps back and now finds an open Chuck Shuck, who just hit it from downtown. Chuck Shuck making it 64-45. Now just under a minute to play. Ryan Smith putting it up for two. That is too short. Rebound by Brett Zata. Massimiani hits the three. Two quick threes by the Eagles. That's exactly how you want to end this game here tonight. The offensive explosion in this second half. They now have 31 second half points as Ambrose Beach off the iron. Team that was trailing by 26 at halftime, they're now trailing by 16. But stolen away here by Dylan Fisher, trying to finish in transition, and an easy 2 points. And final 12 seconds, probably one more shot for the Eagles. Under 6 seconds now. Now at 3 as Massimiani trying to hit it. That doesn't go, and a rebound by Fisher. That will do it here for tonight's action. And a second half improvement for North Olmsted, but Columbia comes away with the 66 to 48 victory. A dominant first half. Not as much offense in the second half for Columbia, but North Olmsted, you got to give them props. 17 first half points compared to 31 second half points. They outscored them in the second half 31 to 23. But just a lot of players in double figures for Columbia just really did North Olmsted in. And the Eagles fall to 0-2. Don't hang their heads on this one. They did not quit. They fell behind huge early, but they found a way to at least improve, and now they will head into their first conference game on Friday night against Lakewood with a 7 p.m. tip. Once again, we want to wish the Eagles best of luck in their game against the Rangers as they look to just really find a maturity growth in the 2025 to 26 campaign. Only 2 games in, but still a long ways to go. So Noah Ricks here on Godaway Sports. We'd like to thank our cameraman, Donald Van Horn, for another job well done. And the final score here tonight is Columbia 66, North Olmsted 48. And this has been a presentation of Godaway Sports.
Godaway Sports and CityView Sportscast thanks you for watching this presentation of high school athletics. For more coverage of your local teams, stay tuned to Godaway. Godaway Sports, we got away.